Pretties, welcome to Vevsville. So, we have a little friend. I just popped him. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I did. So, it is what it is. She was super quiet, and then as soon as I turned the camera on, now she has to talk the whole time. Hopefully she'll be fine. But today I want to do a spoiler talk. Get ready with me. I know these are not very popular in my YouTube channel. I think I only have like 3 people that consistently watch this, and for those 3 of you, I really appreciate it. But let's just get started. So, I want to talk about the movie Cruella. Actually, before we get started, please do not forget to like and subscribe to become a resident of Vevsville. And now let's get started. I know it's a little gloomy out, so the lighting's not going to be that great. I'm sorry. And I could put like a light up, but then I always have a hard time, like in editing, it always looks so stark, and I'd rather just use natural lighting, even if it's not the best. So there's that. Anyway, I want to talk about the movie Cruella, because Cruella just came out, and I always love Cruella DeVille, and she had like the best theme song. Like it was like jazzy and like soulful. Loved it. So I absolutely love Cruella. Hate what she does. But I love Cruella. I think she was always a very good villain, because you have to be that kind of psychopath to want to kill dogs, you know? So there's that. And then I really want to talk to you guys about that specifically, because I don't like how Cruella in this like prequel is a dog lover. I just don't think it's realistic for anyone to used to be a pet owner, specifically dog owner, that would all of a sudden switch so drastically and then try to become a dog killer for their codes. Like, I just don't see that being realistic for a dog owner to all of a sudden want to skin dogs. I just don't think it's realistic, and I really feel like they shouldn't have done that. Like, I think the movie could have been just as good even without that. Like, I don't think it would have taken anything from the movie if they weren't dog people. I just don't think it would have taken away from it. And I think it would have made more sense for her to end up like we know she's gonna end up if she wasn't a dog owner. It just makes more sense. I just find it so unrealistic to think that someone that used to own a puppy would want to skin them alive. Well, dead, but would want to skin them. It really took away from me. Something that really like pulled me out of the movie experience was Emma Stone's accent was so bad. Oh my god. Her accent was absolutely dreadful. Just, wow. It pulled me away from the movie. It didn't affect me enjoying the movie, but it definitely pulled me from the movie, because sometimes she would pronounce something and I'm like, wow, that was really, like, you can tell she was really trying too hard, where she would overpronounce words that even the actual British people weren't pronouncing them like that. So her accent was just very, it sounded and looked, well, you know, it can't look a sound, but it sounded very fake, and it really took away from the experience. I really wish she hadn't done that, but you know, can't do anything about that. So overall, her acting was really good. Just her pronunciation, trying to sound British, was horrible. Let's talk about something positive. Let's talk about how they were they switched the ethnicities of some of the characters, and I really appreciate that, because why can't Anita be black? You know, we'll go for it. And I love that Roger was Indian, or I think he was maybe Middle Eastern and not Indian, but he just had that, you know, they're clearly from different ethnicities. Love that. I absolutely love that. I think that, I mean, why not? Just why not? Why can't they? And I think it was great, and I really enjoyed it, and yeah, I liked it. That's all I can say. I really enjoyed it. I really liked that they were from different ethnicities. Also, I don't know what the lackeys' names are, but the tall and thin one, he was also, it looked like he might have been mixed. It was hard to, like, his ethnicity was a bit ambiguous, and I was totally okay with that. I was on board. I enjoyed that part of it, that they kind of switched it up a little bit and it wasn't like an all-white cast, because I think the original live action 101 Dalmatians was all white cast, if I can remember correctly. So I enjoy that. Talking about the lackeys, again, I don't know their names, but I like that they gave the little backstory where they used to be friends, like childhood friends. I think that added an extra layer to them and why they stuck around with her, with Cruella. What I don't enjoy is that they were kind of hinting at a love interest between Cruella and the mixed guy, I think. I should have looked up their names, but it's really hard for me now that I'm starting to get ready to do that. I should have looked up, but the taller, thinner guy, like they were kind of like hinting at a love interest. Maybe he was in love with her. He said something along the lines of, I have a really hard time saying no to you. And Cruella's like, I know, that's one of the things I love about you. And I just don't like that. I don't like that they're hinting at it. I don't like it. I just don't. Something that I was very curious about this while watching the movie, and I don't know if anybody else thought about this while they were watching the movie, but did anybody else find it as strange how everyone was talking about Cruella and they were talking about her designs, but I'm like, where can you go and buy a Cruella design? Mamacita, I'm talking, please. But like, where can you go and buy a Cruella design? Because I don't, unless her friend, because she had a friend that owned like an antique boutique, like a boutique with like more antique pieces or older pieces that were harder to find. So they mentioned that, but I don't know that they ever mentioned that she actually sold her pieces there. I don't, it was just not mentioned. So it's like, how can you be a fashion designer that doesn't sell fashion? So I just thought that was a little, oh shit, I grabbed the wrong shade. Okay, well, that's what we're going with now, I guess. Oh Lord. Okay, I'm gonna try to fix that by not touching. Oh Lord. Okay, well, whatever, let's move on. So they never, like, she was on like news magazines and they were always talking about her, and she was being very provocative, which I enjoyed quite a bit actually, like her making a scene. They were being slightly legal. So there's that. But again, where do you buy a Cruella design? Can somebody tell me where you can buy a Cruella design? Because they showed in the movie like when they were like sewing and creating all the clothes, so they were clearly producing them, but I don't know if they were creating that one outfit or if they were actually like mass producing them for sale. So I'm a little confused on that one. I still don't understand. All right, let's just get to it. Let's talk about the Baroness. I enjoyed her. I think I really enjoyed her and Stella's relationship. I think she learned to appreciate Stella's aesthetic and really got to know her and saw her talent and gave her that confidence, you know? And they are actually very similar, and that creates a lot of that question if it's like nurture or nature, you know? Like if it's in your nature to be that crazy, or where you, because I don't necessarily think that she was born like that. Like she like had a little bit of crazy in it. I wonder if the mom had some sort of like mental like, I don't know, like, you know how like bipolar disease can be passed down. I wonder if the mom, the Baroness, had that. By the way, spoiler alert, I already spoiled it. The Baroness is Cruella's mother. I hope you watch the movie you're watching this because it's a spoiler talk. Okay, we're here to spoil the movie. We're here to just talk about it. Give me your thoughts, all right? But anyway, their personalities were actually quite similar. I think Stella for a while was trying to tone it down and really, I don't know how to explain this, but she was trying to tone it down, I feel like, for her mother and then for her friends. Although her friends were not necessarily the best influences on that, but I felt like she was trying to tone it down. And then when she decided to embrace herself and be full-on Cruella, that's when she really let go and became herself and really more like her mother, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there were some things wrong with her mother. The fact that she was killer. I loved how the part where she, Cruella tells the Baroness, "You killed my mother," and you gotta be more specific than that, sweetheart. I'm, implying that she's killed many people. So I just thought that's hilarious. I also enjoyed how Stella became Cruella and decided that this was who she was gonna be from now on. She was not gonna hide that this is her true personality, and decided to essentially kill off Stella, or have the Baroness kill off Stella. And then, because Stella was the rightful person to everything, then transfer everything over to Cruella. I think that was nice. I enjoy that quite a bit. They kind of hinted that there might be a second movie, but we'll see about that. Okay, something that it was, I think, on the end credit scenes or at the very end of the movie, I can't remember which one it was, that really bothered me, was that Cruella is the one that gave Anita and Roger their Dalmatian dogs. What? That was so unnecessary, and I don't appreciate it, because again, I feel like someone that used to be a dog owner, and this is the person that gifted you this dog, is now trying to steal it to skin him. It just doesn't make sense. I just don't see how people that used to be dog owners and dog lovers will go to that extent. I just don't see it. I think there was a real stretch, and they didn't have to do that. If Anita and Roger were to buy the dogs on their own, I feel like you would still have the movie. It wouldn't have taken away from it. It just really wouldn't. I really love how Roger used to be a lawyer, and then after he got fired by the Baroness, decided that he wanted to be a composer. I love that. I really do, because I think it's something that happens a lot where someone's career pivots. Because I feel like I have a friend of mine who is a doctor, and she decided that she didn't have a passion for it the way that she thought she did. So she got her realtor license, but she's still seeing patients. You can just up and quit. But she got her realtor license, and it's slowly trying to become a realtor, and she sold a couple houses last year, and she was really excited because she was still seeing patients every week. But now she was also selling some homes, so super excited for her. But I think that's something that you see a lot sometimes. Your career pivots maybe when you're not so young in life, and I do appreciate that they showcase that with Roger, and he just went an entirely new direction. I don't know what, I enjoy that. I really do. I am a little disappointed that they only played a little snippet of the Cruella song at the very end. Roger sang it for the first verse, and I was, oh man, I just want more. I just want more. And it's funny because I don't know the lyrics in English. I only know the lyrics to that song in Spanish. Well, actually, I know the first verse in English, but the actual full song, I only know it in Spanish. And so a lot of times I'll start the first verse in English, and then I'll finish the song in Spanish, because that's the only way I know it. We're gonna have a hard time blending this out. I'm about to figure it out. Okay. right, guys, I'm gonna have to pause and fix this blend. Give me a minute. Okay, I think I fixed it. What do you think? Let me know. All right, so I feel like if we're talking about Cruella DeVille, we have to talk about the fashion and the clothing. And I just gotta say it, even though Stella had some great outfit ideas, she didn't dress all that well. I feel like Stella was always in this black outfits that did nothing for her. She had some cute pieces sometimes here and there, but like altogether, I didn't love the way Stella dressed. Also, the Baroness. I feel like the Baroness really just... she had her moments where she dressed really well, but overall, it just didn't feel very innovative. Whatever she wore, it felt old. Like, and the pieces in her like collection, like her spring collection, were actually not bad. But she didn't dress in those, so I think it just took a little way away from her status, at least in my eyes it did. I don't know. I'm not really sure what I was expecting from her, but I was just expecting her to be a little more glamorous, if that makes sense, and I just don't feel like she was. So, you know, overall though, the fashion though was really good. I appreciated the designs of them, and they were innovative, and they did remind me of like New York fashion, like Fashion Week, where they were like very extravagant, not necessarily like everyday wear. They were more like statement pieces, and I appreciated that. The designs were so cool, and I had a really fun time watching Stella drawing them, deciding like, you know, there's something missing in this piece, and just like the fashion aspect of it. I really enjoyed it, and I kind of wish we would have seen a little bit more of that, but it's okay. Like I said, I really enjoyed the fashion aspect of the movie, which again, with Cruella DeVille, you can't ignore that, which I appreciate it. Let's talk about the pranks, because I feel like the pranks were such a big part of the movie and of tearing her down. The Baroness, I mean. By the way, absolutely, a lot of the things that they did were 100% illegal. How they kept getting away with it, I don't know. But they kept getting away with all kinds of things. I'm like, I feel like that should be illegal. They were like driving like a waste, like a waste trash truck in one of them, and I was just like, how is that not illegal? Like, did they steal it? There's that. I will say though, the one prank where they had like all the little like butterfly things, and they like sew them into the dress, and then thinking that they were gonna break in, they hid all the dresses in the vault, and then when she opened the vault to reveal everything, then the dress was kind of like, everything had like spread out. Genius. That was absolute genius, because at that point she screwed over. But that's also how she gave herself away to the Baroness. Oh my goodness, there's a little hair in my... Gotta pull it off. There you go. But that's also how she gave her way to the Baroness. There's that. I want to talk about a little bit about Stella's hair, like her natural hair, or Cruella's hair. It's like her natural, like their... How is that possible? that is their natural hair. Like half of it is white, half of it is black. That is so interesting and funny, and just very unique, because it's so random that it's very easy to know who your daughter is, because that's just not something that's common and something that you would see very often. So there's that. I like it. Something also about that hair, I think it also represented like her split personality. Not a split personality, but like her alter ego, where she can be nice, she can be sweet, she can be Stella, but her true nature is Cruella. And I love how she created that persona when she was so young, because it just adds a little more to it. Like, this is something that she's always had to like keep reminding herself, oh, don't be Cruella, be Stella. It's just something that she had to constantly remind herself about. And there adds a little bit of a layer of having that constant mental battle with yourself, trying to be someone you're not for the better, you know? I think a lot of times people tell you is like, you know, be who you are. And sometimes who you are is Cruella. And how do you go about that specifically? I think they just add a little something to it. It reminded me a little bit of the lyrics from Mulan, which is where she goes, if I were to be my true self, it will break her family's heart. There you go. Jesus Christ. The lyrics. It reminded me a little bit of those lyrics, because I think she was trying so hard to be Stella for her deceased mom. And, you know, that's just not who she was. So that was that. Alright, let's see. What else I want to talk about the movie? I don't know. There was... Overall, I want to say I really enjoyed the movie. I would recommend it. I don't know if there's anything else I can say. I guess I'm going to have to cut it short and then just kind of skip to the end once all this makeup look comes together, because I don't know what else to talk about. I'm like trying to think. I enjoyed the movie, to be honest. Overall, it was a good movie. I can't get over the fact that they made her be a dog lover. I don't think Cruella was ever a dog lover. I think that took away from the movie. I don't think they should have done that. That was a bad move on Disney. But aside from that, it was enjoyable. I think the main characters did have a lot of chemistry. I think it was nice to see Stella slowly change into Cruella. I think it was nice to see how that transition kind of hurt her relationships with her friends, with Anita. I think it was important for her to see that if she's not careful, she could end up like the Baroness. And I think she tried to compromise and end up somewhere in the middle. And that's kind of where we left, is like, I'm gonna be Cruella, but I'm gonna not go all the way crazy about it. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that quite a lot. Okay, I think that's all I want to say about Cruella. Again, I enjoyed it. I think you wouldn't regret it if you do end up watching it or getting the movie or whatever. I think you'll like it. Like I said, personally enjoyed it quite fine. It was a good watch. There are certain things that pulled me away from the movie, but I still enjoyed it. So since I'm still getting ready, I remember Netflix just dropped Lucifer. And I've already watched the second half of season 5. And I want to talk about it, because why not? So this is going to be a spoiler talk for Lucifer and for Cruella, because why not? Saves me having to do 2 videos. I'll just do one instead, which, you know, I've been really inconsistent with my videos anyway, so might as well. But anyway, so I'm just going to go straight to it. So Lucifer's now God. What the fuck? 100% should have been amended though. Lucifer had no business being God, and there's certain things that I enjoyed about the storyline. I love how they had all the angels there, and it was gonna be a you versus me kind of thing. Really enjoy that. Like Michael versus Lucifer. However, I just I don't think Lucifer should have been God. I think it should have been Amenadiel. And Amenadiel had been doing a couple of things here and there that were like godlike, and I think he was just taking the input and he really thought about it, but then thought of his son and then decided, you know, that's not what I want to do. I want to be able to spend that time with my son, which I think gets more to it. I do feel really bad for Amenadiel when God told him that, you know, he's mortal, which means at some point Amenadiel is going to have to bury his own son. I think that's going to be really, I just think that's really tough. I don't think a parent should ever have to bury their own child. It's I can never understand what that feels like, but I like Steel Magnolias. I love that movie, but as you guys know, I'm assuming you guys know, because the movie is like 30 years old. Well, actually maybe 40 now, but the movie is very old, so you should know this. But Julia Roberts ends up dying, and the mom has to put her own daughter under, you know, 6 feet under. I just think that's a terrible thing for a parent to go through, that their child's gonna die. Having to put your own kid down has to be one of the toughest things there is to do, and I feel bad for Amenadiel because I know, and he thought about it. There was a thing where, what's her name? The doctor got mad at Amenadiel because Amenadiel said something about, you know, like angels are better, which, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things to it, but I don't think she really understood what Amenadiel meant. I think what Amenadiel was trying to say is that he's gonna have to die and I'm gonna have to watch him die. I think he had a hard time understanding. Like, he came to terms with it, I think, towards the end, but I think he still a little upset about it, which I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Okay. I don't like how Chloe ended up like quitting her job. Just gonna put that out there so that she can become, I guess, Lucifer's rights hand person. I'm really curious to know what that means for Trixie. Now that Lucifer can come in and out of the Silver City, what is that gonna mean for Trixie and them? Is he gonna make them immortal? Is he gonna get God's powers? Is gonna be known, like he's gonna be able to know it all? Like, I just feel like they left a lot of questions about that, how all that works. I don't know if there's gonna be a next season. I think it was kind of hinted at, but it wasn't like for sure. So I'm curious to know how that works, how all that's gonna work out. Again, Amenadiel should have been God. I don't understand. I don't like how God was like losing his powers. I think that was very scary to see. Oh, there you go. All right, guys, I'm gonna put a little pause and I'm gonna be right back. Okay. All right, so back on Lucifer. I can only say that I am extremely tired of the back and forth between Chloe and Lucifer. Like, just be together, or not be together, and just don't be together. But they did it again this season, and I'm just like, ugh. Just be together and just get it over with. Like, I just don't care. Like, I'm tired of it. It seems like they finally decided to be together for sure, which I support. But like, I can't handle this one more time. Let's talk about some of the deaths that happened this season. For the first time ever, we had some serious deaths. Dan died. I was a little shocked by how upset some of the characters were. Some of the characters that I didn't even think were close to Dan were actually like really highly affected by his death, and I was just a little confused by all that, you know. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting Dan to. I don't know. Like Maze was very upset about the whole Dan thing, and I don't remember like Dan and Maze being all that close. Also Amenadiel, and we've seen a little bit of Amenadiel and Dan being close, but there was like a picture of them supposedly like going to like a Dodgers game, and I'm like, where did this come from? Like, I don't know. There was just like I said, a couple of things where I was like, I just don't understand where. I just don't remember them being that close, you know. So I just thought it was just a little weird. It was a little weird, and they did like the most for them, and it was just weird. Let's see, who else died? They killed Remy. That was unnecessary. I don't think Remy needed to be dead at all. I feel like there was one more dead, but I can't remember who it was. Oh well. Yeah, Remy did not need to be dead. That was so unnecessary. So there's that. Alright. Let's talk about Linda, because I want to talk about Linda. I really like Linda's arc this season. I like how she gets to be able to confess to her daughter who she really was, and was able to introduce her daughter to her new baby, and was able to help her daughter with her adoptive mom and provide some of the money that she needed. So I enjoy that. I think it was nice. I feel like we got a full circle on that one, and I really liked it. I think it was really nice. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I feel like my eyes look so small because I did this black eye look and whatnot. But you know, I was talking here about Cruella. I feel like I needed to do something really extreme, and smoky eyes. What I feel like. Overall, I was not loving this season. It felt a little weird. I like that they weren't having like weekly murders anymore, and there was more to the story that could carry it along. But I just felt like it felt a little flat. I don't know. I was expecting a little bit more, and I just don't feel like I got it. So there's that. Although I do gotta say, that episode where they where they pranked Dan, hilarious. That was beautiful. I love how Lucifer was just like, yeah, I just spent $5 million pranking you, and like, no big deal. Just no big deal. I was like, alright, lend me those $5 million. I would have done so much better with that money than prank somebody. Ooh. Hope I didn't crack it. Okay. So, I think, is that everything I want to talk about? I feel like we talked about a minute deal. Oh, let's talk about God. I know it may seem like a lot, but my skin is dry. And the powder that I've been using, because I've been trying to finish that Cover FX powder, is meant to be like a baking powder, and it like mattifies so much. So I am so glad I'm almost done with that powder. I think I have like one more use left. My skin cannot handle that powder, so I have to like really drench myself in setting spray to like overcompensate for that powder being so matte. So there's that. And it makes my face feel so heavy. Like, I can honestly feel when I have that powder on. Like, I feel it tight. I don't like it. I really don't like that powder. But I'm finishing it. It was a small sample size, thank God. And I'm almost done with it. So that. Alright, so let's talk about God. I think God was more involved this season. I love how he was like having people break into song. I just thought that was hilarious. That was so nice. I think he brought a little extra element to the whole thing. I brought an interesting like family dynamic. I kind of wish we would have seen more of God. I like how he did like a little like family reunion barbecue in the park and was like grilling for everyone. It felt like an actual family. I love how he was a little jealous of Dan and like blew him up. Of course, put him back together, but like, yeah. I think I also love how he still loved his ex-wife. You know, he just wasn't able to do both, and I think it was nice that they brought that woman back, the goddess back, and was saying, you know, I have my own universe now, and I'm able to do it just fine. You know, girls kick ass. And I think it was great how he decided that it was gonna be his turn now to wait around for her. I think it was nice. My lips look ridiculous, and my glasses are super dirty. We're just gonna do this and then end it. Oh my god. Okay. Final look. What do you think? We're filling it? We're not filling it? My curls are a little bit all over the place. Actually, let me take off my glasses. What do you think? Does it look good? Hopefully my glasses didn't stain the side of my nose. They probably did. They probably did. That's okay. That's great. I actually quite enjoy it. I was going for something a little grungier, but pink. So I like it. Anyway, Lucifer. Let's just final thoughts. The season just felt a little flat. I feel like there was so much potential for the storyline they were going. Gods were retiring. They need a replacement, and I just felt like so many really cool things could have happened that didn't, and that is really, really disappointing. I was just expecting more because it was such a promising plot line. Like, quite honestly, quite promising. Honestly, guys, I can't stop looking at my cheeks. I think the blush just looks amazing. All right, stop. I need to get myself to... It was just so promising, and it was so anticlimactic. I was expecting something like huge to go down, and it just didn't. So, you know, there's that. Overall, it was a nice season, I guess. Hopefully there's a season 6 and there's better plot lines, and hopefully Lucifer ends up leaving his god status and giving it to Amenadiel, who's the only person who should be having it. No one else should be Amenadiel. I feel like all of the conflict that happened, if Amenadiel would have just been like, alright, fine, I'll do it, better than these two trying to kill each other, all of the other angels would have 100% backed him up, and they just wouldn't have been a who's the lesser of two evils. Because that's honestly what it came down to. Who's the lesser of two evils? Michael or Lucifer? If Amenadiel would have just stepped up, we wouldn't even have a season. And I feel like even if Amenadiel would have stepped up, it could have still been, there would have been more to it, and it could have still been very, very interesting. And they could have made it like, you know, he's having a hard time adjusting to the powers and things are starting to happen in the world. It could have just been nice. Again, it just fell flat. This video is extremely long, so we're just gonna leave it there, and I have to get to work. So please do not forget to like and subscribe so you become a resident of Vestival, and I will see you guys in the next time. Bye, guys.